Welcome back, YouTube. Sensei Domino here. It's been a couple weeks since I reached 500 subs, and at this point it looks like it's going to stick, so it's time to do the 500 subscriber giveaway. This giveaway will be in the form of a VR. I have 3 questions, and I'd like you to do a VR on one of them. The first one, I'd like you to shout out some of your favorite channels under 500 subs. Or you can do number 2, how has your collection changed over time? Or number 3, what are some of your favorite cards in your collection and why? I'd also like you to leave a comment on this video with the hashtag 500, and also let me know if you're planning to do a VR, and be sure to tag me in the title of your video so I know to go check it out. But let's go ahead and start showing what I will be giving away. So first, we have this 1981-82 Rick Mahorn rookie. He was a key player on the Bad Boy Pistons of the late 80s. A little off center, but it's pretty nice, pretty sharp. I also have this 1989-90 Fleer All-Star sticker, Hakeem Olajuwon. A little off center. Super sharp. I have this, what year is this? 99-2000 holographics, Kevin Garnett, super shiny. This has a little bit of a ding corner, but it came out of the pack that way. Pack must have been dropped before I purchased it. It's a great looking card. Next, what year is this? This is 94-95. This is goaltending duos, Grant Fuhrer and Dominik Hasek. This is a O-Pee-Chee Premier. Next, we've got a 1960 Billy Klaus. Next, we've got I believe this is 1997. Yeah, 1997 Diamond Heroes, Kimiyasu Kudo. And to tell you a little bit about Kimiyasu Kudo, for those that don't know, he actually has the MPB record for longest career at 29 seasons. He was 224 and 140 win-loss record, 3.44 ERA, 2,852 strikeouts. He was a 2-time MVP, 4-time ERA champ, 2-time strikeout champ. He was a 10-time All-Star. He was also an 11-time Japan Series champion. So, fantastic player. Next, we've got a 1994 Score Gold Zone, Brett Favre. Next, love this card. This is a 1992 Pro Line Muhammad Ali with a nice Miami Dolphins jacket on. Next, we've got a 21-22 Metal Universe Lucas Raymond rookie. Next, also 21-22 Metal Quentin Byfield rookie. Next, 1991 Max Dale Earnhardt All-Pro. And next we've got some autographs. 1992 Fleer, Daryl Johnston. Just got this back in the mail a couple weeks ago. He actually signed it Moose right here in the loop of the J. Pretty cool. Next, we've got a 1991-92 Hoops Craig Elo autograph. Next, we've got a 1988 Topps Danny Darwin. Next, we have a signed index card from M. Emmett Walsh. I'm going to tell you a little bit about M. Emmett Walsh. He's basically a supporting actor. He's appeared in a number of films, including Slapshot, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, Blade Runner, Missing in Action, Fletch, Back to School, Harry and the Hendersons, and others. And I just think he has a fantastic looking signature. Very unique. You don't see anybody signing like that. These days, it's a couple of initials, you know. So, thought somebody would appreciate that. All right, next. If you've watched some of my videos lately, I've talked about starting to pick up several of these German sets from the 1930s. The 1932 Olympics and the 1936 Olympics, and there's some fantastic cards in there. Babe Diedrichson and Jesse Owens, and among others, Sonia Henne. And I've accumulated a couple of several duplicates, and decided to include some of them here. These are actually all from the 1936 Riemsma set, and I've actually translated what's on the back because it's all in German. We got this one right here. This is Ferenc Sik, I believe, of Hungary. And it says he unexpectedly won the 100-meter freestyle against strong American and Japanese competition. This was the biggest sensation in the swimming stadium. I'll give you a better look at this. And that right there is what I just translated. Now, I used Google Translate, so it's kind of hit and miss, but that's kind of the gist of it. The rest of it down here is just explaining about the Riemsma set, and it's got different bands. It's got a band 1 and a band 2. So we've got this one. Hopefully this fits on the screen, yeah. Okay, so then we got this one. I thought this was kind of a cool photo. This says the English swimmer Ruth Lee Morris Hancock brought a black cat with her as a much admired talisman. And so you see that little stuffed black cat right there on her shoulder. Thought it was pretty cool. So anyway, that's the, sorry about the focus. That's the translation I just read. All right, next. I thought this was a great image. Boxing. Sorry for bumping the camera. This says, this says drama at the boxing tournament. I'm going to butcher this. Larazabal was down 4 times. 4 times he faced the superior winner. Sorry, let me start over. Drama at the boxing tournament. Larazabal was down 4 times. 4 times he faced the superior winner, Wilson, USA. Then the referee stopped the unequal fight. And so you see him right there laying down on the canvas. And that's what I just tried to read. But I thought that was a nice image. All right, next, this one's cool. Some of the hockey fans of the channel will love this. 1930s hockey card. This is actually Canada and Austria. A moving game scene in front of the goal of the Austrians, who allowed themselves to be overrun in the first onslaught by the Canadians, but then held their ground. And I just love this image. Obviously, none of them are wearing helmets or anything to protect their heads. But if you look closely, they're actually in shorts too, which is crazy to me. So just a fantastic image, early hockey card. And that's what I just translated. And the last card of the giveaway is this one right here. And this is Glenn Harden, USA, and Canada's John Leering, the top two in the 400-meter hurdles. So they won the gold and silver in the 400-meter hurdles. Actually, I take that back. I actually have a couple more things I had put aside. So my brother wanted me to include this. If you've heard me talk about my brother, he's in a metal band called Fly Above Fire. And he gave me this signed pick. This is a gig used, signed at Fly Above Fire. And it's got the stamp right there, Fly Above Fire. And I also decided to include some TTM fuel. No, that's not a 53 Bobby Shantz. But it is a Bobby Shantz. So all of these individuals, TTM, if you need help with the addresses, I'll be more than happy to help. But I put together like a 20 card sort of TTM sort of package. So we got this. This is Topps Archive. What year was this? 93? I believe this was 93. Doesn't say, but this is Topps Archive, Bobby Shantz. Fantastic TTMer. A lot of times he'll inscribe that with some fantastic inscriptions. Next we got this 1988 Topps Whitey Herzog. He's a nice signer, Hall of Famer. Next we got a 1988 Fleer, Ron Guidry. He's generally one per. Fantastic signer though. Next we got a 1986 Donruss Goose Gossage. I know a lot of people like getting these Diamond Kings signed. Gossage generally will sign one for free. Any more than that he charges. So we got that. Next we've got 1990-91 Hoops, Robert Parrish. Now, it looks like Mr. Parrish might have slowed down recently, but he's been a fantastic signer, so certainly worth a shot sending that to him. Next, we've got a 99-2000 Vernon Mad Max Maxwell Upper Deck. Next, we've got a 1998-99 Upper Deck Black Diamond Jeff Hornacek. Next, we've got a 1989-90 Hoops Steve Alford. Next, we have a 1994 Skybox Impact Rocket Ismail. Next, we've got a 1993 Topps Gold Roger Craig. Roger Craig's another one of those that loves to add inscriptions. Fantastic signer. Next, we've got a 1989 Pro Set Lewis Lips. Next, we've got I believe this is 1988 Topps Ed Too Tall Jones. Actually, this is 1989 Ed Too Tall Jones. Next, we've got a 1990-91 Pro Set. Michel Goulet, Hall of Famer. Same set, Brian Propp. Another fantastic signer. Generally, he'll add in some extras too. Next, we've got a 1993 Classic 4 Sport, Valerie Bure. Technically, I guess this could be a rookie card or a pre-rookie. Next, I believe this is 1994. 1994 O-Pee-Chee Premier, Eric Lindros, Team of the Future. Now, Lindros will take forever. You actually send to his parents' house, and eventually he'll get around to signing the card. He does take a while, though, but he's pretty good at sending back to his fans. So, and next, we've got several cards from the 1991 Max. If you've been watching my channel, I opened up a box of it, so I have quite a few duplicates of this. So, put together a couple of these. So, we got Jimmy Hensley. And I double-checked all of these drivers right here have sent back within the last month. So, they're definitely current TTMers. Next, we got Hut Strickland. Next, we have Hall of Famer Donnie Allison. I just got him back last month. He included an extra as well. And last but not least, the greatest ever, Richard Petty. So that is all the cards for the giveaway. So hopefully there's something in there that you like. All right, and to finish off the video, I'm going to answer the questions that I have for the giveaway. Once again, I'll repeat them. You can choose any one of these three. You don't have to do all three of them. Of course, if you want to do all three, that's fine, but you're not going to get any extra entries for doing multiple different questions. So whether you do one or three, it'll be the same one entry. So number one, shout out some of your favorite channels under 500 subs. Number two, how has your collection changed over time? And number three, what are some of your favorite cards in your collection and why? Again, I'd like you to leave a comment on this video with the hashtag 500 and also let me know that you're planning to do a VR, and be sure to tag me in the title of the video so I know that you have made the VR. Otherwise, I've got quite a few people I'm subscribed to, so there's a chance that if I'm not tagged, I won't see your video. So be sure to tag me. All right, so let me go ahead and start with question number one. So shout out some of your favorite channels under 500 subs. So number one, History Through Cards. He's currently at 346 subs. He's got a fantastic channel. He's just full of knowledge. He does reviews of sets, like super vintage sets, pre-war sets, somewhat obscure players, along with incredibly famous players. He knows a whole lot about the hobby and the hobby's history, and it's one of the best channels for that information. So if that appeals to you, definitely go check out History Through Cards. Ryan, he's a fantastic person, and just really enjoy the content. So number two, we have Hank Rassicoat. He's currently at 109 subs, and fantastic TTMer, full of knowledge. I really enjoy his channel. Every time he gets an autograph, he gives you a little bit of a background of the individual, and just incredibly knowledgeable. So definitely go check out that channel. Number 3, we have undrafted player Fabian. He's currently at 261 subs. He's got a fantastic vintage collection. He'll show gardening occasionally. He's got a fantastic garden. He shows different memorabilia, stuff like magazines and newspaper clippings, vintage newspaper clippings. Just a fantastic channel, fantastic individual. Definitely go check out Fabian at Undrafted Player. Number 4, we have Souvenir Programs here, currently at 62 subs, and he deserves so many more than that. He's got probably one of the best souvenir program collections on YouTube. It's just amazing to look at the artwork in these, the ads in these. If you like looking at old college souvenir programs, definitely go check out this channel. Again, another individual that's just full of knowledge. Love watching his videos. I learn something just about every time I watch a video. Definitely go check him out. You won't be disappointed. All right, next we have Kites Curiosities, who's currently at 189 subs. Another fantastic TTMer, full of knowledge. Just love watching his channel. Recently, he actually showed how he bought a frame at a store, and he showed how you can set up like an index card as like a display, and really enjoyed that. I hadn't really thought of that myself. So definitely go check out Kites Curiosities, a fantastic individual, fantastic channel, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. All right, next, this is a channel that I've recently subscribed to, and this is Cooler Plastics, currently at 124 subs. Man, his videos are absolutely amazing. I don't know how long he spends doing these videos, but they're like little mini movies, and the effects are just amazing. Another TTMer, just really love this channel. I'll binge watch his videos. They're fantastic, so definitely go check out Cooler Plastics. All right, next we've got Paul in the 619, currently at 233 subs. Big fan of Paul's channel. San Diego Padres fan, just a fantastic comic book collection. Definitely go check out his channel. He's the greatest shout-out individual on YouTube. His shout-outs have become legendary. So definitely go check out Paul in the 619. Number 8, we've got Dave Collects Yeah, currently at 449 subs. Just an absolutely incredible Pokemon collection. If you're into Pokemon, definitely go check out Dave Collects Yeah. Just fantastic content as far as Pokemon's concerned. Just an incredible collection. All right, number 9. This is another channel that I've recently subscribed to within the last couple months, and that's Concrete Buddy, currently at 178 subs. He collects similarly to me. He's into super vintage. He's all sorts of sports: baseball, basketball, football, hockey, non-sport, like Olympic sports. Just anything really. But he's got a fantastic collection, just jaw-dropping collection. Definitely go check out Concrete Buddy if you like super vintage. And last but not least, number 10, we've got Zach's Collections. Definitely fantastic individual, the king of 30-plus-year-old gum. He loves opening the junk wax and 70s wax, and he will eat the gum. And I don't know how he does it. It would probably break a tooth if I tried to do it. But that's Zach's Collections. Love his channel. TTM Tuesday. He does history through mail, which is fascinating to me. Just a fantastic person, and really enjoy his content. Definitely go check it out. He's into Magic the Gathering and comics and sports cards, all kinds of sports. You'll absolutely love his channel. Definitely a lot of variety over there. All right, so that's question number one. Question number two: how has your collection changed over time? So I first got into collecting, like I guess around, probably Christmas time, 1985. That's when I got my first card, which was a 1983 Topps Jim McMahon rookie. And early on, I guess, yeah, probably probably mid 1986, I got my second card, which was a Refrigerator Perry rookie 1986 Topps. I'm not sure when that came out, but pretty much as soon as that came out, that's when I was like, I need to get one of those, and so I ended up getting one of those. Um, but shortly after that, um, most of my friends really weren't into football cards; they were more into baseball cards, and so I started collecting baseball cards more than football. And so I'm a huge fan of the 1986 Topps set. Um, so the first several years of my collecting, it was primarily baseball, occasionally football. Not a whole lot of basketball, if any. Not a whole lot of hockey, if any. In fact, none until 1990 or so. Um, right around 1990, I got into the hockey and the basketball, and so I ended up, buying quite a bit of the 1991 Pro Set, 1990-91 Score hockey. Bought a lot of the skybox and the hoops for the basketball. Then probably 1991, basketball had a really nice class. Obviously, UNLV was a pretty big team in the early 90s. They had some fantastic talent over there, notably Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon. And so I was a pretty big fan of Larry Johnson. He came out of the Dallas area Skyline, and was a big fan of his. And so I really started getting into basketball right around that time, more so than I was early on. And that's pretty much how I got into basketball. And the next year was the Shaq draft, and it was all over because Shaq was larger than life. Again, another Texas player. He went to Cole High School in San Antonio and went to college at LSU. And if you watch Shaq his rookie year, he was destroying backboards and just all sorts of stuff. He was larger than life. And at that point, I probably started focusing more on basketball than baseball. But baseball was still the number two. And I was, at that point, I was collecting all four major sports for several years. And probably around 95 or 96, that's when I started focusing more on basketball than anything else. I would probably buy 3 packs of basketball for every one baseball. There were some fantastic draft classes, especially the 96 draft with Allen Iverson and Steve Nash, Ray Allen, Kobe, of course. Just a fantastic draft class. After that, you had, the Tim Duncan draft. And then 98, you had probably one of my favorite draft classes of all time with my top 2 favorite players of all time, Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki. And then by 1999, early 2000, I was out of the hobby completely and didn't come back until, late 2021, I guess. I got back in December of 2021. And the first card that got me back into the hobby was an Exograph Bubba Smith rookie card from 1970. And that was the first card I had bought, since I had stopped collecting. And it was shortly after that other cards that wouldn't have interested me when I was a kid started appealing to me. Non-sports stuff, just I was more into vintage than I was as a kid, for sure. I actually made a video where I was talking about diversifying my collection more so than the 4 major sports. And I think I've done I think I've done that since that video, which was early 2021, I would guess, or early 2022, where I said that I was going to start diversifying my collection, looking at other sports other than the four major sports. I've been collecting cricket cards and bowling cards and tennis cards and golf cards and Olympic cards and just there's so many interesting cards out there, and there's definitely appeal to that for me. So that's the biggest thing that's changed. And if it wasn't for eBay and online selling, um, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm grateful that that exists now. Now eBay existed when I was, basically getting out of the hobby. I bought some stuff in 98, 99 on eBay. Um, but when early on in my collecting days, the best place for me to get cards were, the local card shop, or, a grocery store or something like that. You could buy some packs at, a grocery store or a 7-Eleven or something, but you were kind of limited to what was available around you or whatever you could trade for, you know. And the local card shops that I had around me didn't have a whole lot of vintage, and the vintage they did have was certainly out of my price range. So it was a lot harder for me to get into vintage when I was a kid. Certainly a lot easier now. So that's probably the biggest way my collection has changed over time. Um, I certainly love the big four sports. They'll probably always be my favorites. But I really enjoy collecting the non-sport and the other sports, alternative sports, whatever you want to call it. Cards that are out there. There's some fantastic cards out there. Like, I don't know if you can see some of the cards on my mat right here, but yeah, you got this right here, this Charles Lindbergh from the famous Airmen and Airwomen set. I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, there's a bunch of them right here. You got a Amalgamated Press Stanley Matthews, fantastic soccer player. You got Primo Carnera right there from the Churchman's Boxing Personality set. You've got who's that? Betty Davis right here. You got Jesse Owens right here. You've got Bob Fitzgerald. You got Don Bradman, one of the greatest cricket players of all time. Errol Flynn. That sort of stuff. Right here, you've got a Charlotte Flair. I wouldn't have collected that this stuff as a kid. I even loved wrestling, but I didn't know anywhere you could get wrestling cards. So that's how my collecting has changed over time, and I really love my collection now. It gives me a whole lot of options when I'm looking for stuff. There's no shortage of being able to find something that appeals to me, and I love that. I love that. It gives me the freedom to sort of wait for stuff to come to a price that I'm comfortable with, because there's always something that I can find out there. All right, so the last question: what are some of your favorite cards in your collection, and why? And so this video is actually getting kind of long, so let me go ahead and I'll start with these two. So these two are the focal points of my mat here. I don't know if you can see it. Actually, three of those cards are actually what I'm going to be showing right now. You've got the Dirk Nowitzki rookie, you've got the Vince Carter rookie, and you've got the Billy Williams rookie. And those are three of my favorite cards in my collection. And so here you go. Here's the Vince Carter. This was pack pulled back in 98, 99. And, Vince Carter took the league by storm. Not like Shaq, but, his dunks were just jaw-dropping. And, especially that 2000 Olympic dunk where he jumped over Frederick Weiss. But yeah, this was pack pulled, and numbered 962 out of 3,500. At the time, this was incredibly limited. At one point, this card got up to $1,500 raw. according to Beckett. So this was a huge card to pull. And Vince Carter is right there tied with this individual right here, Dirk Nowitzki, and this was also pack pulled during that same time frame. In fact, I would guess that both of these came out of the same box. They came from the same local card shop. So very possibly that these could both have come out of the same box. But yeah, these are my two favorite players of all time, and got both of their rookie cards from the 98-99 SP Authentic. These were basically put in a top loader and then put in a card saver and sent to Beckett. They were sent to Beckett, and I want to say 2003 or something. I wasn't even collecting at the time, but grading cards had become a big deal, and so I decided to send these off. I was expecting to get 10s because these were barely even touched. They were certainly taken care of because, especially the Vince Carter, he was huge by that time, and Dirk Nowitzki was establishing himself as the best player on my favorite team. So definitely took care of these, and somehow they came back as an 8.5 and a 9. Now, I'm not really disappointed. I guess I am, but I know that Beckett during this time was really harsh at grading. And, there's a possibility that if I crack these out, they could get a better grade. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of chipping. I'll show you the backs. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of chipping. Whatever damage is on here, you'd probably need a magnifier to be able to see it. But still, really happy to have these. They mean even more that they were pack pulled. And these are top 2 cards in my collection. All right, so next, this was a card that I had always wanted as a kid and could never afford it. And I decided to use some tax return money to be able to acquire this. I'm actually focusing on 3 player runs in baseball at this time, and they are Carl Yastrzemski, Billy Williams, and Orlando Cepeda. And so I ended up picking up all 3 of their rookie cards. And this is the 1960. It's only a VGEX4, but I was comfortable paying this price. And this is a grail card for me. This was my grandfather's favorite player, my mother's favorite player. And so I grew up looking at Carl Yastrzemski like he was larger than life. And he was a fantastic player. He really was. So this was a card that really, really, really stood out among, the Hall of Fame rookie cards. I mean, obviously you got the 52 Topps Mantle, but that's out of my price range. But yeah, we've got this Carl Yastrzemski, and there is the Billy Williams that you see on my mat right there. And this was a SGC 6.5, and it's a little off center, but it's not bad at all. And to me, it looks fantastic. It's got super bright white borders. Thrilled with this copy. And I was comfortable with the price I was able to get it for. And the reason I'm a fan of Billy Williams, this wasn't the first. I'll be showing the first vintage card that I remember getting as a kid. But this is not it because I don't have it anymore. But I picked this up. But this was one of the first vintage cards that I ever got. Was this 1964 Billy Williams. And so because this was in my collection when I was really young, Billy Williams always stood out to me. And so I decided I was going to build up his player run. I certainly wanted to pick this card back up, and I did, and I love the condition of this. It is a little off-center, but it's really sharp. The white is super bright. Very happy with this copy. And you can see a little bit of the cartoon right there, but it's not too bad. It doesn't look like it was rubbed with a coin or anything, but definitely happy with that one. Now, this one right here was the first card that I remember getting first vintage card that I remember getting as a kid. My mother was a nurse, and her boss, the doctor at the office, was a big sports card fan, and he ended up giving me a little envelope full of vintage baseball cards, and probably like 10 of them or so. The one he wasn't a Hall of Famer at the time, but the one big player, the big name player in that envelope was Orlando Cepeda. Eventually, he got into the Hall of Fame, I believe, 1999, but at the time he was not in the Hall of Fame. But he was the most notable player, probably among a group of commons. And so this card always stood out to me, and definitely wanted to pick this up. This was one of the early cards that I picked up when I first got back into the collection. I think within the first month of getting back into collecting, I wanted to pick this back up because just love the memory. And so there's the Orlando Cepeda rookie card, 1958 Topps. And again, it's a little off center. This is the one of the three that I did not get graded. I didn't like the price that the graded 4s and 5s were going for the Orlando Cepeda compared to the raw copy. And I don't know that this would get a 4. I would like to think it would get a 4. I'm no expert, but this is in good enough condition that I'm comfortable with it. I might eventually get it graded. I don't think this would get any worse than a 3. The centering is bad, but there's not a whole lot of print dots, which you see quite a bit on this. I see one right here, but I don't see a whole lot of them right there. And then also on the back of these, sometimes you'll see like a wax stain, like a darkening of the cardboard, and you don't see that here, so I was certainly happy with that. But yeah, I'm really happy with this copy, and this is right up there with the top cards in my collection. And so that's them. I'll go ahead and put all of those on the screen the best I can. So you got the Vince and the Dirk, and you got the Yaz. Kind of got a glare there. You got the Billy Williams and the Orlando Cepeda. So those are the top 5 cards in my collection. And hopefully you enjoyed this little VR. And I'm really looking forward to watching your videos on any of these topics. And good luck in the contest. I appreciate you checking out the video. I can't thank you enough for all your amazing support over the last year and 4 months or so. Actually, year and 6 months. So I guess time flies when you're having fun. So thank you so much for all your amazing support, and good luck in the contest. Until next time, I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.